And maybe we can take up some questions which have been put up in the chat. If we could get access to the chat option.
I can also read the question that was.
I think that would help. Yes. Although we can see the screen here now.
Okay. The question was to previously to this analytics, and it was about the accuracy of the emission models. So how accurate are the emission models compared to ground truth? And in addition, it was asked which states of India these has been tested.
Okay. So how we do testing actually is, it's not like we do testing once and then we stop testing. We have algorithms in place which do testing all the time for every single prediction that is made. So if there were predictions made yesterday, a certain percentages of those predictions get tested today. And it's seen like what the model is predicting. Now on the question of how accurate it is and what states have we tested, again, we test for all the states. So any region, for air pollution monitor, we test for all the states in India, and for the forest fire models, we test globally. The accuracies are actually a function of how much ground sensors we have. So for Delhi, we are ridiculously accurate. I think we are 95+% accurate because they have 35 sensors in a span of a very small state. While for states like UP or MP, we are not that accurate. I think it's in late 80s, like 88, 89, because there are like 4 or 5 sensors for such a large area. And this is where it's also, a contribution that could be made where we can deploy our IoT sensors more smartly. We don't need to have 35 sensors in India because in Delhi, because after a point, the accuracies really plateau. So it is much more nicer to figure out where are the sort of data gaps or where there is like a gap in sensing capabilities, both in satellites. For instance, like African subcontinent just does not have that many satellites looking down. Same goes for India. We relatively have lesser satellites compared to, say, California or compared to Europe, which is able to give us like 10 readings a week. And this is where, when you go on our, so we have 2 proprietary sort of software and interfaces. One is called Space-Time, which is our visual dashboard, and it's aptly named Space and Time, which is a spatial and temporal description of data and environmental parameters. And the second one is an API gateway. So you can log in and you can write a single line of code and extract data for any latitude, longitude, for any time that you want. And you can actually see what is the accuracy of that particular data set, what were the models deployed, when was the last update, who all is using that model right on that dashboard. So you're building a very transparent organization and very transparent company per se. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you for that. And I can already answer one question. Will this session recording be available for later? Yes, we'll share the link with everyone. And I think I saw one message in the chat that you can probably unmute somebody if they have a question. Was that Arjun?
Yes.
Yeah?
Arjun, that's correct. But the question was...
All right.
Was from Arjun.
Okay.
We did have an additional question about the use case of India.
Yes, I think Abhilasha did speak about Delhi, and I'm sure they're also working in the other states. Would you like to say something about that?
I'll just elaborate again. We monitor for we test for every single location that we do predictions. We are not putting any data out there which we are not constantly checking accuracies and testing and error all the time. So this is, one of the differences is static data sets, which are data sets that come from more research and on-ground reporting once a year, versus a software, which is creating a dynamic data set all the time. There is a data point coming every single day. So whatever is the resolution of our data. So I think air quality is only for India, and forest fires or emissions from forest fires and farm fires is global. And the testing is done for all of those geographies, for all Indian states and for all countries.
Thank you so much. And maybe I can address the comment which was made by you, sir, earlier on the cooperation with Uttar Pradesh. So the Netherlands has an active cooperation with the state. We are involved in the Clean Ganga program. So far, we've not looked at the glacier area, but maybe that could also be something that we could explore. So we'll definitely have a look at that. And I think my colleague Doya now has a question.
Also a question for Blue Sky Analytics. Really great that you've put your idealism into practice and that you're changing things in the world. I think we've got an understanding now of what your company can do and what you're doing technologically, but my question is about the impact. So have governments or regulators been using your data already to change things? I'm living in Delhi. It would be really great if things start changing there due to your company and the data that you're monitoring, for instance, on stubble burning. But I was wondering, have you had uptake from governments such as the Indian one?
Okay. So I would actually answer a little on the behalf of the government, which is sometimes problems are much more larger and systematic than we can see from the surface. Stubble burning is a 30 million tons of crop waste problem, and that crop waste has to go somewhere. And there has to be infrastructure for everything from like thrashers to trucks to power plants which will take that crop waste or different kinds of technology. So it's not going to disappear in one day. But sadly, there has not been very, very active involvement. I think sometimes there is a little technological gap of what are the possibilities between people who are in the startup space, who are moving very quickly, and bureaucrats who are sometimes living in the previous era. And that is why I think there is not been that much communication. We do supply data to NDTV. So it is able to create a lot of awareness through our data set, which goes right on the television, like a stock ticker. So it gives information on what's air quality. Honestly, I think we've had about 3.3 million, 3 million plus hits of our data set till now for just air quality. So that many people being interested in air pollution data, 3 years ago, that wasn't the case. Many phone companies worked with us and were supplying data to the individual consumers, like individual users, smack on the phone screen. And that has shown an uptick in the awareness within, I would say, the Delhi or the larger sort of Indian audience. As far as solving the problem of stubble burning comes, I think we are actively monitoring. So if any governments, if courts, if anybody wants to like see and like penalize or build infrastructure, we can provide that information. We've been trying to work very actively with some of the power companies like NTPC and all, who have to source all that stubble and then burn in their power plants, but bureaucracy. So we would love to have support to be able to give our data to more governmental and bureaucratic organization, because what we've seen is like startups or private companies do pick up data very quickly. So NDTV, Xiaomi, any of the companies, but when it comes to governments, there is a little time lag. And since we are a very small team, we're only 20 people, we don't have that much capacity to chase people who can actually use the data and create change. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Abhilasha. Do we have time? Short question.
Yeah, Abhilasha, do you have also data, or you thinking of doing something on waste identification, especially plastic waste, and how it's been sort of contained or it's seeping into the waters, and if not, can you do it?
So we can't do waste at a micro level, but something that we have built a POC on, we will be happy to deploy it as a product if we see enough demand. Because from POC is like, creating a dish in a lab, and product is putting like a manufacturing plant for it. It just takes, since we are in software, it doesn't take that much time and effort, but still. So we can monitor every single landfill site in the country. So any large, like if you are in Gurgaon, you can just drive outside and see there is a landfill site which is increasing, and we can very actively monitor its size, shape, emissions that is coming from that particular landfill site, Badarpur or Ghazipur, like these larger sites, which can give a macro level picture of the waste coming from that particular city. We can't go at a micro level. We can't tell you what is the plastic production from this event. For that, you will need like more like, consultants and hands on ground.
Thank you. And I think if there are no further questions online, then we can wrap up this session. There are a few people that I would like to thank. Thank you, Jose, for this opportunity, and it was lovely collaborating with you. Thank you so much, Abhilasha, for making the time available. Kunal, who couldn't be here, but we are very proud to also have Kroppen in our Netherlands ecosystem. RVO for their support throughout this report, Inc. 42 team to put together this report for us, and last but definitely not the least, my colleague Krishna, who's been working behind the scene to put all of this together. Thank you so much.